It's the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Welcome to another production here from the Open Mic Broadcast Network. It is our mission to try to bring you some news that you could use. Today is no exception to that rule. Follow me on X at the Mike Prince Show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. You can also check out our 24-hour stream on the website, obnradio.com. With all that being established, let us jump right into today's episode. Well, we had some Wednesday night non-conference baseball action. We saw Bethune-Cookman fall just a tad bit short to Florida State, losing by the score of 5-2. Alabama A&M lost to the North Alabama group by the score of 13-5. We have a late report on Alcorn versus McNeese from Tuesday night. Actually, Alcorn showed a little bit of life. So they did lose by the score of 9-7 in that Southland SWAC matchup. So we got some key matchups coming up on this weekend. Of course, Prairie View will be hosting the Grambling State Tigers. Grambling on top of the West, and Prairie View is trying to gain some footing in that Western Division race. Meanwhile, other Western matchups, Southern, who are going now into their 5-game winning streak, will take on University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff over the weekend. Pine Bluff, as we mentioned, are still one of those struggling programs in the Western Division. You'll have Texas Southern taking on another struggling Western opponent, and that is the likes of the Alcorn State Braves. Texas Southern will be at home over the weekend. Now, we've made the mention on how it is very critical to jump out on the Golden Lions and the Braves from the Western Division due to the fact that the programs are truly at a struggle state of mind. So now the Panthers will have to intensify their battles in those opponents that have a bit better base for their programs. The Grambling Tigers, the Southern University JAGS, the Texas Southern Tigers. The way it is set right now from the Western Division, if you're anyone other than University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff or the Alcorn State Braves, you're basically guaranteed a spot to the SWAC baseball tournament, which, by the way, will be in Atlanta, Georgia. It's just a matter of winning the games you're supposed to win. So in that confidence mode, I feel with the surety that if the Panthers just stayed the course, they should qualify for the SWAC baseball tournament. But if you look at the structure, makeup, setup of Panthers baseball, you just want to see a little bit better progression moving toward at least a 1 or 2 spot for the Southwestern Athletic Conference Western Division. Meanwhile, on the east side of things, Bethune-Cookman sitting on top. You have FAMU, Jackson State, Alabama State in that number 4 spot. And for as the East goes, you can pretty much assume the same thing when it comes to Alabama A&M and Mississippi Valley. Some very struggle mode type programs, and it would be a shock if either of those teams, either the 4 teams that I've mentioned, Valley, Pine Bluff, Alcorn, Alabama A&M, if they make postseason play, I'm saying as a baseball guy, I would be truly shocked. Now, I'm not dogpiling, just looking and sizing up things at the way things have been playing out and just looking at the analytical process of what could and could be as far as probabilities go. So in the case of the East, it's just a matter of which order would they finish. Jackson State, not Pine Bluff, but Bethune-Cookman, FAMU, or Alabama State. It's just a matter of which seeding they have. And on the west side, Grambling, Southern, Texas Southern, and Prairie View. Meanwhile, the Southern Jags are still the apple of the SWAC eye with that huge win over the SEC opponent, the LSU Tigers, and they're still reeling over there in Baton Rouge, down the street, if you would, around the corner, on how the Tigers fell victim to the Southern Jags. And as we stated, this was not coincidence, because not long ago, I want to say it was either 2018 or 19 that the Jags pulled off a similar feat. So once again, congratulations to the Southern Jags and Coach Crenshaw for holding it down for the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Meanwhile, as we begin to focus towards Saturday, we know that there's going to be some spring football games. Jackson State and Alcorn will be having their spring games, we know for sure. And, of course, next week we have a plethora of games, as we've been mentioning: Texas Southern, Prairie View, FAMU, and so on and so forth. And there's another football memo from Alabama State, but somewhat of a different twist. It was announced from Alabama State's sports department or athletic department that they will be initiating the introduction of flag football for women. Will this be the start of a new trend for the Southwestern Athletic Conference? It's been a trend going on, initiated by the NFL, to touch more of the female fan base by introducing flag football. We know they've been experimenting with this and getting grants from the NAIA level, but will this be something that will spill off to the D1 level, in particular for the Southwestern Athletic Conference? Be a very interesting watch to see how this develops. But man, that would really be intriguing, at least to me, for a little while. As we know, Tennessee State introduced hockey up at the Tennessee area, and we'll see how that one unfolds. I think, if I were a betting man, I think the flag football might have a little bit more teeth than the hockey approach. Even though I'm a big hockey fan, I just think that the concept of women's flag football, would be very cost effective, but the thing will be, of course, would be your travel. I don't know if you can get a couple of pockets set up with some HBCU influence to see how this flag football deal will go. But meanwhile, we'll keep you informed and abreast as that story develops. I want to remind you, we got this baseball weekend coming up for conference play to see how things will look after the weekend of April 5th through 7th for baseball standings throughout the Southwestern Athletic Conference. I am going to exit stage left for right now. My time is far spent. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, reminding you about your opportunity to support Prairie View Athletics by participating in the 2 golf tournaments that features fundraising attempts for Prairie View Athletics. On May 6th, you will have the Panther backers and their annual golf tournament from Houston, Texas, and the Panther Club on May 24th from Hempstead, Texas. And don't forget, on the 13th, you can participate in the Panther Support Network Domino Tournament held on the campus of Prairie View during the spring game festivities. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, and until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.